welcome back. Now let us continue with this beautiful discussion. Please remind me your sign name.
This is my sign name.
Okay. Now Sylvester. Now we're back. You've spoken about your focus in special needs education, right?
Yeah.
And you've also shared your passion. Now, with all these happenings, and you have worked even in different organizations from way back until now, you've been to different places. I know I'll do a research about it if you're comfortable. But let me ask you one question. What is one of the biggest challenges that you've come across, especially as a special needs teacher and as a deaf person?
Okay, the first one and the very important one. Kenyan people think that deaf people are nobody, and the only thing they need is help. And most of the time they will ask if you are deaf, and they will not really get to understand that you are deaf. Mostly when a person like me who is hard of hearing, sometimes I can voice, then they just don't understand that I was born deaf. And sometimes they get to talk behind my back. I don't get to hear them. So they think that I am pretending. So this is the biggest challenge that I face. Even with my staff, the government employed teachers, they don't really understand that I'm deaf. And also, they also think that because I'm deaf, I've only done a diploma, I've not done a degree. But for me, I've done a degree. And also, so I just hope that the deaf children in the future are not going to be affected with what we are going through right now.
Okay, I know you've heard it, that the major challenge is actually in the legal sector, and which does not really support the teachers, especially in special needs. Maybe you can have a recommendation of whether to have a better policy going forward.
So when it comes to law, I will advocate that yes, we have the laws and policies, but they have been implemented, but let's see them being practiced. Because for deaf schools, you find that we have hearing teachers who at sometimes when they're writing on the board, they start talking, and the deaf children are not listening. So we need deaf teachers who will understand the deaf children and teach them as slow as possible for them to understand.
Okay, I believe that in many situations we have variations, and people have different ways of understanding things. And for sure, we really need specifications in these areas. So, now that you have experience in these, and you have also interacted with children who have special needs, maybe we can have a different what different approach would you recommend?
Through my experience and through working with the hearing staff, I found that there is a big gap. Most of them say that the deaf will see and write, and that is enough. And the second one is the deaf children. They have less vocabularies, so you really need to explain to them. Remember, some deaf children, most of them miss school. So when it comes to communication, they will just have to either write. So, and you get that their English is broken because our first language is KSL. And some teachers really don't understand the deaf children, and they don't know that their first language is KSL.
Now, you see, parents who have children who are deaf, there's a very big challenge, and we really need a lot of training. Imagine teaching a child. We don't even have enough teachers in the school. And for now, I would want to know, do you have different recommendations that you feel would change maybe the education system, especially in Kenya?
Okay, my opinion as an individual, I think that a policy should be made where they get to separate the special need of a student. So if you are specialized in the deaf sector, you focus on them, because you can't generalize all of them and teach them, because they have different abilities. This will lead to them failing if you generalize.
So now I think the biggest gap, the problem is only that we have not been having specifications of blind, deaf, all put in one group. So equalizing them sometimes become hard.
Yeah.
So how I propose, if maybe we can have different groups based on different disabilities, and also the fundings from the government, so that we can accommodate everybody. But remember, we have so many variations. Now, do you have a final message, especially for parents who have children with special needs, or maybe family members? Maybe you can have also a message to the employers, because some people feel doubtful about employing people with special needs. And how can we change that mentality?
Okay. The first one, I want to start with we, the deaf. Let's work together. If you are hard of hearing or deaf, let's work together. Number two, parents, please. If you have a deaf child at home, don't feel disappointed in life, because they are also human beings. I encourage you to take these children to school. Don't sit with them at home and wait when they are around 14 or 15 of age, then you start looking for a school for them. My encouragement to you is that you encourage these children and you don't discriminate them when they are at home, because all the deaf children can also do what the hearing children can do.
That is a very powerful message. We can do anything and we can do everything, even when we are deaf, because we have got so many people who have also walked through this journey. And what would be now your final message?
I have many final words,
Okay, say them.
but number one, let me first start with my father. Thank you for the good decision you advised me to join teaching. And to my mother, thank you for the guidance that you helped in leading me when I went to the hospital and when I was receiving my treatment. My mother and my father, I really appreciate you. Not forgetting my uncle and his family, they really supported me. And they gave me the wisdom and the needs that I required at that period of time. My father, thank you so much for being a role model to me.
Now, I know you have had it all. Now, viewers, I know we can learn a lot from our guests, and also we should not hide our deaf children because we are advised to keep supporting them. I know sometimes it can be stressful, like you have seen from our guest, but you see he has managed, and I believe he's proud and we are proud of him. Now see you on the next show. Bye bye.